What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video podcast idea. It's Thursday today, which means it's almost Friday, which means it's almost time for the weekend again. We have made it through another week or so, we think. Another week of lockdown, which is probably going to be followed up by another week of lockdown. It made me think how our lives now seem to be revolving around this whole lockdown idea and how it is looking like it will probably be the case that for the upcoming 3, 4, 5, or maybe even longer than that year period, we are stuck in this lockdown, one way or another. Which is not a good thing, but is it really that bad? Is it really that bad if you're on some kind of spiritual quest, for example, because the lockdown somehow simulates being locked up in a cave all by yourself, discovering that actually you do not exist, for example, and nothing really exists whatsoever. That might be the case in the case of this lockdown. Of course, we as humans like to dwell on the negative of things and are glad to just, how do you say it? Go around our daily lives, and if something is missing, then we feel lost in all of the uh, contraction, etc., etc. For example, so this lockdown gives us plenty of opportunity, but we have to take it regardless. So, do we choose to do that? Of course, we don't choose to do that because there is no person here, there is no personality, there is no object, and of course, there is no subject and there is no person. You can notice this, of course, when you're in a high stress situation or you give your body a lot of stress. I guess it works for me at least to just uh, keep my body physically active and stressed, and if you over exaggerate that point of being, then you eventually arrive at a certain state that seems like there is no person, and then you get obsessed with that idea. Of course, the feeling of there not being a person is felt by the apparent person, which makes it again not true, but it sort of mimics the feeling of not really being here, sort of, which is enough to get at least a little bit interested in it. So then after that, you self-isolate for whatever reason, or you try to talk about other people who think there is not a person, there is not a person. And you go to all kinds of different meetings. You arrive together at the conclusion that it might be true that there is absolutely no person, and there has never ever been anything like a person. It's not like you discover there is no person and then you go happily all along pretending that there is no person, even though it kind of feels like there's an individual here at times. So you go back and forth between switching between the fact that there is no person, and the lie that there is a concept, a bodily energy that we can actually call a person, even though that's just a human construct. Where the hell are you supposed to be in your body? I can already give you a couple of examples which tell you, in fact, that you are not really here. That's quite easy, even though people make it oh so hard and they try to think that they're not here. But as soon as you think that you're not here, of course, where the hell are you? Right here. But you can actually feel like there is no individual. You can actually feel, or in fact, you can't, but it's already the case that there's not a individual whatsoever. Can you practice with it? No. Can you do anything about it? No. But I feel for some reason that some of us sometimes have the bodily sensation, if you can call it that, that seems to lead to the thought that there is no person. And of course, that seems to be the right way of thinking. In the end, you doubt that you're a person. That's what I wanted to say. You doubt that you're a person, and so for one reason or another, you get interested into that, and you feel actually like there is no person after a while, or at least you know that insignificant truth just slightly more than you used to. For whatever reason, I think just because you're interested in it, just because it seems so damn interesting, just because it sometimes seems to be the only way out, except suicide, of course, but who wants to do that? It's kind of a permanent solution. Thinking that you're not a person is a slightly more convenient option because even though once you saw it, you can't really go back to it. You can actually make it apparent that you can go back. So pretend again that you're a person, which is quite hard to do, but people like to act and fool around. So that's what we're gonna do, is it? Another thing I found out today is how much a personality disorder, namely schizoid personality disorder, seems to be having some crossovers with you not being a person, you not being really here ever. They feel sort of the same way, or should I say, I feel sort of the same way. The diagnosis quite fits me perfectly. I'm not one for self-diagnosing, but I kind of show all the traits. So, and for some reason, I like non-duality, the whole concept of reality not being real. It sort of overlaps a lot with schizoid personality disorder, even though in society the one is praised or at least not evaded, and the latter is treated and dispelled and ridiculed and seen as pathological for one reason or another. I don't really know why, but people do make fun of schizoids for whatever reason. maybe because they are so eccentric, maybe because they just can't act normal for just one freaking second, which is not really their fault or our fault or whoever's fault it is. It's just happening, as they say in non-dual circles. So I discovered that there is definitely some overlap between the two. Take that with a grain of salt because I'm not really a psychiatrist, nor am I some magical guru, nor am I someone you should listen to. In fact, I'm just a person, or rather, a non person talking to other non persons who, like me, find themselves to be damn important, even though there are no important beings whatsoever. It's fun to lose and to pretend, like Kurt Cobain always says. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. I am quite done with the week, had a rough one, so I can't wait for next week to come along. Uh, I do always notice that after a rough week, I usually have a better one for whatever reason. So let's pretend that's going to happen next week. First, let's survive some festivities. I am at the 11-minute mark, so I would like to thank you for showing up, and I will see you next time.